We spend our lives on a planet whose rules feel universal. But the moment we leave Earth's atmosphere, that logic starts to fall apart. What you are about to see are 22 facts, and they all point in the same direction. The universe is not only stranger than we think, it is stranger than we can think. We call it outer space, but in truth, it is a system that does not fit our concepts of time, space, and matter. These are no longer theories. The idea that time is not a constant sounds like science fiction, but for engineers in mission control, it is a daily mathematical reality. Fact 1. GPS satellites in our orbit age about 38 microseconds faster than we do every single day. Without artificially slowing down their internal clocks, every location fix on your smartphone would drift by kilometers within just 24 hours. Reality up there operates at a different speed. This is not an isolated case. It is the first warning that our intuition fails out here. Fact 2. A day on Venus is longer than its year. While the planet takes 225 Earth days to orbit the Sun, it needs 243 days for a single rotation. The Sun rises in the west, and so slowly that you could theoretically outwalk the sunset. We perceive planets as massive, unshakable bodies, yet nature constantly breaks that expectation. Fact 3. Saturn is so light that it would float on water. Its average density is lower than that of an Earth ocean. If you could find an ocean large enough, this giant would drift like an iceberg. Fact 4. Jupiter does not simply orbit the Sun. Due to its enormous mass, the shared center of gravity, the barycenter, lies measurably outside the Sun's surface. The Sun and its largest planet pull at each other so violently that the center of our system constantly wobbles. Fact 5. Jupiter is so massive that every other planet in our solar system could fit inside it twice. And while we feel like the center of the world, the Moon is slowly leaving us behind. Fact 6. It drifts away from Earth by 3.8 centimeters every year. In millions of years, it will appear so small that total solar eclipses will become impossible. The geometry of our sky is temporary. As soon as we leave our planetary neighborhood, we look through instruments like the James Webb Space Telescope into an archive of the dead. Fact 7. The light you see tonight often began its journey before humans even existed. Many of those stars exploded long ago, yet their information is only reaching us now. We gaze into the past and mistake it for the present. In some places, the environment seems to contradict everything we expect. Fact 8. There are exoplanets where it rains glass sideways. On HD 189733b, winds move at 8,700 kilometers per hour through an atmosphere of silicate particles. It is a storm of microscopic glass moving at lethal speed. Fact 9. On Mars stands Olympus Mons. It is nearly 3 times the height of Everest, but so wide that its peak disappears behind the curvature of the planet itself. The mountain is larger than the horizon it stands upon. But size is not the extreme, density is. Fact 10. A single teaspoon of neutron star matter would weigh 6 billion tons on Earth. That is the weight of the entire human race, compressed into something the size of a sugar cube. Fact 11. These objects rotate up to 700 times per second, an entire star spinning faster than a jet turbine. Fact 12. In the constellation Aquila, there is a cloud of methanol, large enough to poison every human on Earth for billions of years. Fact 13. Almost everything in our solar system is already trapped inside the Sun. It contains 99.8% of the system's total mass. We are not part of a balanced structure. We are the leftover debris from the birth of a star. And this is where the model finally breaks. Nobel laureate Adam Rees and his team discovered that the universe is not only expanding, but accelerating. Fact 14. About 95% of the universe consists of dark matter and dark energy. The problem isn't that we know too little, it's that we are starting from the wrong slice of reality. Everything we have ever measured with telescopes, every galaxy, and every atom inside your body makes up only 5% of reality. We are not describing the universe, we are describing the visible remains, and that changes everything. Because if most of reality is invisible to us, then our models are not maps of the universe. They are sketches, drawn from the tiny part that happens to interact with light. Fact 15. There are more possible chess games than atoms in the observable universe. The complexity of a human game exceeds the material capacity of all space. Fact 16. Inside a black hole, not only does matter break, but causality itself. If you fell inside, you would witness for a fleeting moment the future of the universe pass behind you in fast forward. Beginning and end would exist at the same time. Fact 17. The International Space Station is constantly falling toward Earth. It plunges toward the planet every second, but because it moves sideways so fast, it keeps missing the curvature of Earth. We call it orbit, but in truth, it is a controlled fall. The further we venture, the stranger the familiar becomes. Fact 18. Moons like Europa contain more liquid water beneath their ice than all of Earth's oceans combined. We search desperately through deep space, while life may exist beneath the ice next door. Fact 19. There are stars like UY Scuti, so enormous that it would take nearly 5 billion suns to fill their volume. If it replaced our sun, it would swallow everything beyond Saturn. Earth would vanish inside it, like dust. Fact 20. A single lightning bolt on Jupiter releases more energy than any storm on Earth. Deep inside its atmosphere, methane may transform into liquid diamond rain. It rains gemstones in darkness we can never enter. Fact 21. The concept of up and down is only an illusion created by gravity. In intergalactic space, there is no direction, only endless expansion without reference. Fact 22. The Planck mission revealed something disturbing. The universe appears to be flat. And in an infinite, flat universe, every arrangement of matter must eventually repeat. Which means there may be an infinite number of versions of you hearing this exact sentence right now. The data from probes and the calculations of mathematicians show us a reality that our senses were never designed to understand. We are only beginning to see what is really out there, and maybe that is the real shock. Not that space is strange, but that our senses were built for survival on one planet, not for understanding the structure of everything. The universe is not wrong. Our expectation of reality is,